Good evening, everybody. It's the Truth Serum. A lot is happening. Go get a coffee, a drink, soda, or whatever. Uh, Decided to come on Sunday night. We'll do a Sunday night blowout. Try to just go over some things, and I appreciate the support that you guys give me. Of course, I'm having some problems with this channel and YouTube, but we'll try to get it figured out. Maybe they could put me back in the algorithm. So we'll see what happens. I might just be talking to nobody, but and I appreciate everybody that does come in for my perennials that come in here. So the Olympics, we talked about that earlier. The Olympics and what they did. They staged this gender bender Last Supper. How come they pick on the Christians and Jesus? They don't pick on Islam or Muslim or all of them. Why is that? Why are the Christians and Jesus always like the easy target? Why don't they mess with the Muslims? You know? I never saw on a world stage. Now we're gonna cover some Olympics. Jump in, it's an open forum. Mike Franzese, some news from the Mike Franzese camp. I've talked about the old days with Mike and everything. I said some things, but I've come to terms and everything's cool. So, and this thing called DEI, you hear about diversity, equity, inclusion, and then a little mob story or something. And if I get anybody in here, boy, they've been running my channel ragged. Holy cow. It's tough to talk about politics. It's tough to get on here and talk about Kamala Harris. But we'll see where it goes. That's all. I'm not on the algorithm. Nobody's I'm not going to get any. My subscriber count's been froze for over 3 months now. And yeah, they've crippled me. They've crippled me over here. Holy cow. So, well, I'll just keep forging ahead. If I don't get anybody in here soon, well, people might watch it later. So, this DEI, we talked about Kamala Harris and how she never done anything in her political career. She always talked about doing these things, but she always did the opposite. Big Small, how are you? Whatever she talked about when she was getting into these appointed positions or elected positions, she would talk about things and then she would do the complete opposite. Like, So, and just like Kamala Harris was supposed to be the border czar for Joe Biden, and she was going to do everything for the border, but she did the complete opposite. So she's bought and paid for from the globalists, of course. So we're going to cover some different things here. Vegas Pete, Big Small. We're going to cover some different topics. We're going to do a Mike Franzese story or a Mickey story about a guy in the mob that sad story. Sometimes I don't get a lot of views and everything. It just seems Bush League to talk about it. Like now I'm at the point where it's just like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But you guys hang out with me so we can rock it out. That's all. That's all. So the DEI now is for diversity and equity inclusion. So in other words, include everybody into the media and all this and that. Include everybody for diversity and all of this, everything. Now, my best friends growing up were black. And and my best friends ever. And I grew up around all nationalities. I'm not out here trying to be a racist. I'm just trying to think about some things. So, and most of my black friends don't like what they're doing either that I talk to. They don't like it either. This diversity, it's a shell game. It's a shell game for the trillionaires. So what they do is they just, whether you earn a spot, whether you earned a spot on the roster, like, well, we're just going to put you in because you're black or Puerto Rican or whatever. So whether you earn a spot in today's world at these jobs or in government or commercials or media, sportscasters, just you now there are some that merit. They went through their training and learning, and some get in of all colors. But they made an agenda to just put all the blacks in, flood with blacks, because they figure the blacks are going to vote Democrat. So they're trying to stack the deck of cards. Now, diversity, inclusion, diversity, equality. Well, you got to earn your way. Well, I just watched the United States Olympic basketball team play. All the players were black. Oh, there wasn't no white players on the team. There was no white players on that. Well, Joe, while those are the best players, they earned it. Oh, okay, I understand. So that's the normal logic that, you earn your way in the world. You earn it by hard work and everything. You just don't come with diversity, equality, inclusion and just say, we have to put these demographic, we have to put the blacks and Chinese also. Mm-hmm. So, and other nationalities can make a beef about it. So aren't most Americans promoted by their merits, or you just got to fill positions by color? And then they claim inequality and no justice. Well, they be big. What that does is they're putting people in positions that are unqualified just for the sake of the color of your skin. That's DEI. You notice how all the commercials changed when I was doing videos back, and I was like, why are these companies selling and they're missing their target audience? They're missing their target audience by showing blacks in all these different positions in commercials and everything else. And it's not the true representation of numbers and sales and demographics. They're just including them just to say we need more blacks in commercials that are driving $100,000 cars and they're running finance. Yeah, they do, but they flood. They are capable. Yeah, there's smart black, white, Italian. There's smarts everywhere, but it's their agenda to push that on people. Push that on people, and they're parlaying it on the next election, because what do you have? Who's running? A woman, that's diversity, who are supposed to be the underdog, and she's black. Well, she's not even really black. She's mixed. So that's the DEI, the diversity, equity, inclusion. So put her up there, not by her merits, not by her merits at all. She's a scrub. So yeah, they do it. Yeah, the New York Jets 15. Then they're all trying to show on all the things. Now, usually a white male, 25 to 45, a white male is usually missing in programming and sportscasters and commercials. They're missing. They're missing. They're trying to put a false perception out there that all the blacks are doing real good. The trick is on them. They're trying to do real good. And yes, some are striving and they work hard. They go to college and they work hard. Yes, they do that, of course. But then they're trying to make this false comfort of like, yeah, oh, I guess I see this on commercials, the programming. My race is doing real good, real good, real good. And it's a false narrative. It's a false narrative. Diverse, equity, inclusion. All the players on the football team are black. How come there's no whites? I want more Italians. Where's the Italians on the football field? Where's the Italians on the basketball field? Where's the Italians on the baseball field? Well, the truth serum, you got to earn your way and work hard and achieve and strive, and you'll get there. The old-fashioned way. I don't trust these airlines, these other places. I don't trust who they're just putting in there. Now, when you go to the casinos, you could see at the front desk, they don't know what they're doing. There's no more good cooks left at any of these places. They're just putting hacks in there. There's nobody. What this DEI has done is it's lowered the professionalism of anybody in their positions. And when it comes down to transportation, I hope they don't cut the corners there and just say, oh, well, we need a Chinese and we need a black, so just come aboard and go fly that plane. I hope it don't come to that, because there's nothing safe. They want to come up with these terms and diversity, equity, inclusion, and all that just to be convenient. Most large cities have black mayors, black city council, black police chief. Blacks are in the mix just as much as anybody else. Why are they still beating a dead horse with all that bull crap? The blacks are sick of it. I know blacks that are sick of it, friends that I've known my whole life. They're sick of it. They're being used as pawns. They're being used as pawns. Frank, quality of life is taking a big hit. Yeah. They're using all this smoke and mirrors and all this crazy sleight of hand. And Kamala Harris, rah, 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 rah. She's looking for emotional votes based versus she's using, and then if she can use DEI in there too as another tool, because we don't have a fair chance. I'm a half black woman. I'm a half black and I'm a half and I'm a woman and I don't have a fair chance. So they push her along, and it's bullcrap. It's complete bullcrap. Yeah. I don't know how far they'll go. It's complete insanity. It's just, and Mike Franzese, he's had enough of it. I'm on good terms with Mike because, things get crazy, and the Mafia and the mob and all that. It's all crazy stuff, but I wish Mike well. From his camp, because he's in the mix of not talking, but from the camp, boom, 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 with private message and all that. So, and he sees it. I didn't agree with a lot of stuff, but his political stuff is spot on. And I'm not sure how much longer Mike's going to be doing his channel. Yeah. Yeah. Just be performance-based. That's all. I have a daughter. I raised her to be the best. It's a tough world out there. Strive. I have one daughter, 36 years old. It's a tough competition out there. And she went to school, did good. She went to college, did good. She worked hard and did good. She earned it. And she's successful. She earned it. She earned it. The way everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance. Those days of, oh, I'm from the projects, I'm from the ghetto. Everybody had a shot. You got guaranteed student loans. You got everything you need for college assistance. And by the way, all you need to get in college this day is a pencil. So they lowered the bar on that. So anybody crying about they don't have a fair chance is just a boo-hoo symphony of garbage. That's all. I've seen people, my neighbors, right from the same people that went on to law enforcement from one family in the projects. The projects was like the United Nations. My friends were of all races and nationalities. Everybody's got a shot. One family, there was a police, a correction officer, and the other brother went to prison. They were under the same environment. They had the same opportunities. So let's don't hear about all this guy. There's more financial aid today than there was back then. So everybody's got a shot to be included by your own merits and hard work. This is a woke, candy-ass society, and they're just trying to climb. That race baiting stuff is over. Race baiting is over. The blacks don't even like it anymore. Educated blacks that see what they're doing. In the meantime, you're trying to get political, and you're going to the gas station trying to afford gas. You're going to the store. Cost of living's gone through the roof. The border's whacked out. Everything's whacked out. And then they want to come up and say, oh, the blacks aren't included in things. Are they nuts? It's these globalists. It's the globalists that are putting it. You don't have to be. It's not a meritocracy. You know, a meritocracy is where you, based on your own merits, you can rise up. Based on your own merits. Look at J.D. Vance, the vice president candidate. You can rise up. You got a chance. He went in the military, boom, boom. You got a shot. Everybody's got a shot. That crybaby woke bull crap. No, no. If you want to sit home and play video games, then play video games. The New York Jets 15, I think that the tide might be turning. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I try to be a thinking person and just look at things logical. I don't claim to be affiliated. Honestly, my family was historically Democrats. Most Italian families were back in the day. But we just think logic and reason and common sense to see you put a hack in there, Joe Biden, ain't done nothing. His whole a career politician that's done nothing. Kamala Harris, career politician, done nothing. Everything she got elected on out in California, she did the reverse. Elon Musk is exposing all of those things right up to election day. God bless Elon Musk. He's going to expose words out of Kamala Harris's mouth, statements that she's made throughout the years, and you'll see what she's all about. So all that crybaby bull crap and all of that stuff is it's old. It's old. DEI, diversity, equality, inclusion. Well, you can't just have it your way and use it whenever you wish to use it. ESPN is all color, most 80% color sports commentators. So they're included in everything. Disproportionately, they're included. And like I stated earlier, what about the Olympic basketball team? All black. Well, the whites want to have some of this inclusion. Well, you can't play basketball that good, Joe. Well, then, okay, I accept it. I didn't get there on my merits. Understandable. So they can't have double standards with their political footballs and all that garbage. They're just having double standards. This is convenient to say, oh, yeah, poor me. We don't have a chance. We don't have a chance. They flood the programming with it. They flood the commercials with insane commercials that don't even truly represent the demographic. Now, these billionaires that own these corporations, they know that people just will buy products. They'll just buy products unless they try to pull some cutie pies. Well, they did that thing that they did that opening ceremony thing for the Olympics, and the advertisers, some of the advertisers had to pull out of it. What they did with the Last Supper, what they did, they mocked the Last Supper with all gender craziness, and they mocked Jesus Christ on in front of the world, You better look up who's the head of the International Olympic Committee. They knew that they were going to put that up there. Wow. And who was up? Who did that? DEI. Did you see the people that were there that were mocking the Last Supper? Did you see it? The people that were mocking the Last Supper, mocking Jesus? That was Exhibit A of diversity, equality, inclusion. They want to get in there and be included where they're 0.5% of the population and then mock Jesus. Yeah. Is America going to smarten up? Is America going to smarten up? Or just be just all this stuff? I mean, and at the end of it, there's other billionaires that think that are thinking fine, and Elon Musk, Dave Portnoy from Barstool, and they're putting their narrative out there and supporting common sense and logic. They're supporting that. Like, why do you got to get people? Why do you got to fight in today's world just for common sense and logic? They're fighting to have boys, 8th grader boys, go into girls' bathrooms, 3rd graders and 4th graders. What is this? You got to fight in today's world to be normal? What? You got to fight to get a man off the women's Olympic swim team. You have to fight to take a man, born man, off a woman's Olympic swim team? So the Olympic Committee agrees with this? You got to fight for these, Michael Candinas? What is this world coming to? You got to fight to just make things normal. It's good versus evil. Complete demonic stuff. And they had a world stage at the they had the world stage. The whole world is watching. And the Olympic Committee allowed that bashing of Jesus Christ at the Last Supper. They allowed that. Wow. See, now they just do it in people's faces. Before, they used to try to throw little curveballs here or there. Now it's just in your face. In your face. They don't care. They do not care. So, Mike Franzese, keep up the good work. Get the politics in and get your people out there to vote for Trump. Get them out there, Mike. Do your work. Forget about the old mob and all that stuff. Get out there for however long you're going to do your channel. Get out there and get people to just have logic and reason. That's all. Nothing else you could do. Nothing else you can do. And a little mob story. My godfather, of course, you people already know, he rock and rolled. He did work here and there for mostly Colombos. And there was a bad actor running around, and he was actually a nice guy. I was real young. I was young at the time, and he was in my geographical area. And he was getting in over his head. Sal, we'll call him Sal D. And he was getting in over his head, and he was actually friends with my godfather, who's doing the work. And I was young. I found out later, and he scared this kid so bad. Well, they were older. He scared him so bad. But this was in my godfather's early days. Whatever, before he, made, was proved he could do the work, which was very easy to him. And kid was a nice kid. He actually went out with one of my neighbors, a girl in the neighborhood, and he actually was so scared of running that he set up this way for to do himself in, that if somebody opened the door, he had a rope to a trigger and gonna blast himself. And so I don't know what he was thinking. So instead of the assassin coming in, when he come in, somehow he had it rigged to a string, and just it triggered the trigger. And it's like, there was other guys in the mob that couldn't take it anymore. Instead of running, and some mobsters didn't cooperate. They just didn't cooperate, and they just said, "Well, take the consequences." And they didn't want to cooperate, and they would just accept their fate. They would commit suicide, or they would try to rob banks and get as much money for their family. Just try to rob whatever they can and just give it to their family. So you got a wife and kids that can enjoy whatever. Some had life insurance policies. And so, yeah. And most of the, the mob ain't really around anymore. There's no rackets. I mean, what the hell are you going to do? But this government that we have now, they're worse than Al Capone. Kamala, Joe Biden, and those Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, these people are worse than these gangsters you see on these gangster channels. They're worse. They're worse than my godfather that was a paid hitman. They're worse. They're worse. Because they're perpetrating all this evil on tens of millions of people in our country. They put this country out to pasture. So their policies are illegal aliens coming in, killing and raping innocent people, doing all kinds of crimes. These politicians are worse than the mafia gangsters. The worst mafia serial killer, which was my man, he was a serial killer. They're worse than him. They're worse. They're worse than him. That's what this Democratic Party is. They're worse than the mafia. It ain't even close. The mafia just killed each other. They just killed each other. But you open up other prisons and let their criminals come right in, walk across the border to do crimes. That's worse. That's worse than any mafia hitman could ever be. It's not even any comparison. Mike Franzese knows it. Mike Franzese is a smart man. I like his political views. And he's probably covered everything from A to Z. You talk about a lot of these different things, and a lot of it gets old after a while. I try to keep up with current events and everything and keep my finger on the pulse, but I keep getting censored all the time. And it's a tough battle. But yeah, they pulled that cute one at the Olympics. Yeah, they're really pushing that DEI. They're really pushing it. They put a scumbag skit on there and bashed Jesus, a mock Last Supper with all these weirdos. Wow. And the Olympic Committee approved it. All the eyes of the world that were watching that. They wouldn't do that to the Muslims. They could pick on the Christians and Jesus, but they wouldn't do that to any other. They wouldn't do that. They pick on the Christians because Jesus says, "Forgive them, for they do not know," and all the biblical precepts of the Catholics and Christianity. Still gets you pissed off, though. Yeah. So is Joe Biden still running the country? There's still 5 months left. There's still 5 months left. Is there a nuclear submarine outside of Cuba right now, or outside of what's going on here? Who's defending us right now? Kamala Harris? She's defending America. Joe Biden's not competent. Who's got our back? It's Kamala? The United States of America? Ooh, boy. I'd like to see it should be a freaking blowout that Trump should just win with a landslide, but it's still going to be close. It's still going to be a close election. And if people are wealthy and they could afford the cost of living and they don't care about it, then that's fine. That's fine. Who's to say this country has to remain a democracy? Who's to say that we have to remain a democracy? They're already trying to strip the basic foundation of democracy anyways. They've been trying to do it. These globalists that run these politics, these puppet masters, who's to say America has to remain a democratic society? Doesn't have to be. I believe if Kamala Harris gets in there and starts acting even crazier than her failed record is, you can have people going crazy. And when you have people going crazy when you have civil unrest, then you have tanks and you have martial law. That's the beginning of socialism and communism, which she's been a part of in her early days. Yeah. Yeah. Elon Musk is going to keep showing those things about Kamala Harris to the election day so people can learn what this Kamala Harris is really all about. If people want to do some information gathering, you haven't seen anything. These are the words out of her mouth. You could see the words out of her mouth going way, way, way back to California and every place else she ruined. So yeah, I just wanted to cover some of that. God rest Sal D. God rest him. And God bless my godfather. They're all echoes in the wind. And the DEI is a joke. Mike Franzese, keep up the good work. And that thing, then they'll rot in hell. They curse themselves. They bash the Christians. They bash Jesus at the Last Supper with all that. Oof, wow. And the Olympic Committee approved it. I'm not watching the Olympics. I'm going to watch Barney Fife or the Three. I'm not watching the Olympics. No, screw them. I'm not watching the Olympics. Yes, I want to watch the track and field. I've been waiting from the trials, the Olympic trials. I've been waiting to see who's going to get the gold. I don't care. All right, folks. So that's it. We're going to cut it short. Thank you, Mike, Frank Ferraro, the New York Jets 15, Elias Barnes. I appreciate it. Vegas Pete, big smile. Thank you, folks, for coming in, and have a good night and everything, and stay great. And yes, this is political stuff, but we got to be aware of this because we think it's bad now. Kamala Harris gets in there. You haven't seen anything yet. Nothing. No. And hit the like button. Thank you, Frank. hit the like button for this guy. They got me censored. I'm not there. I can't get any subscribers. So the only thing that you can do is hit the like button for me. That's it, because they got me censored bad. They got me censored bad. This is almost 4 months now. Almost 4 months. All right, folks. I'll talk to you soon, and let God and the world and the universe bless you. Thanks for your support.